if Christian really means Christ-like. If I'm supposed to be ministering to the needs of others, and yet I'm not ministering to the needs of others, then in that area, I'm not a Christian. I'm not being like Christ. If I'm so consumed with myself that if it's not my way, it's the highway, that's not what Christ did, is it? He said, Lord, or Father, I pray for them, not that you would take them out of the world, that you would keep them from the evil that's in the world. Lord, they're not of this world, just as I'm not of this world. He ministered. He was consumed with others. As he stops at the tomb of Lazarus, and he sees those weeping, what did he do? He wept. I heard a song that said he didn't weep because Lazarus was dead. He wept because he's about to bring Lazarus back to life. And he hated to do that to Lazarus. Here's the third thing. He came to give his life a ransom for many. And that means he gave his life. He died for us. He gave himself for us. Now, I cannot give myself like that to that extent. I can't die for someone's sin. But just as he gave himself for us, I mean, he gave it all. He hung on a cross for my sin. He gave himself for me, so I am to give myself for others. Let me ask you, are you doing that? Listen to this poem here. I used to love to hear Dr. Hiles quote this poem. He said, an old man traveled a lone highway. Came to an evening cold and gray, to a chasm vast and deep and wide, through which was flowing a sullen tide. The old man crossed in the twilight dim, for that sullen stream had no fear for him, but he paused as he reached the other side, and built a bridge to span the tide. Good friend, said a fellow traveler near, you're wasting your time in building here. Your journey will end with the ending of day. You must never again pass this way. Why pause you at the eventide to build a bridge so vast and wide? Good friend, said the old man, lifting up his head, there cometh after me, he said, a youth who also must pass this way. He too must cross at the end of the day. He too must pass in the twilight dim. Good friend, I'm building this bridge for him. You get the message of that right there? He said, look, when this day is done, your journey is done. Why are you stopping to build a bridge? You'll never pass this way again. He said, because someone's coming behind me. And they're going to be passing this way. I'm not building this bridge for me. I'm building it for them. My mom told me, or taught me, that one of the most valuable things you can give someone is your time. Because when you give them time, you're giving them life, and that's something that cannot be paid back. But I can give you a cheeseburger, or you can one-up me and give me a double cheeseburger back. But if I give you time, you can't repay that. She says, son, if you want to give somebody something, give them your life. If you want to give Christ something, give Him your life. And when Christ came, He came not for His own benefit. He came for us. Did not deserve Him. And then He prays, Father, I'm not praying for you to take Him out of this world. Wow, Lord, why would you pray that? Because He needs us here to do what He did. Some of you are teachers, and tomorrow you'll go back to school. You work in the school system. Some of you work in other secular areas in the world. Maybe you work at warehouses. Maybe you work at the pickle plant. Maybe you work at a furniture company. Maybe you work at the stables full of ungodly people there. And he said, amen, looked at his wife. No, he didn't. You work out in this world. You say, Lord, Lord, I just wish I did not have to be here. But you do. Because there's someone there that needs Christ. And the only plan that Christ has for them to get the message of the gospel is for us to be there. So here's my question to you. Here's my challenge. 3 things he said he came to do. 1, to give his life. 1, to seek and save that which was lost. And another, to minister. 3 things. Are you doing what Christ did? Bow your head and close your eyes, please.